The more desperately you chase someone's attention, the more power you give them over your life. But the moment you stop begging to be seen, something inside you changes. Have you ever noticed that the more you chase someone, the farther away they seem to move? You text first. You explain yourself. You try harder. You give more. You wait for their response. And somehow, no matter how much you give, you still feel like you're not enough. But what if the problem isn't that they don't see your value? What if you've simply forgotten your own value because you've been waiting for someone else to confirm it? Think about that. How much of your peace depends on someone else's attention? How much of your confidence depends on being wanted? And how much of your identity have you sacrificed just to keep someone from walking away? Because there comes a moment in life when you have to stop chasing people and start coming back to yourself. People don't only chase romantic relationships. We chase attention. We chase approval. We chase friendships. We chase recognition. We chase messages. We chase likes. We chase validation. And sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. You send a message. They don't respond. Suddenly your mood changes. You start wondering, did I do something wrong? Are they losing interest? Do they not care about me anymore? And before you know it, someone else's behavior has become the measurement of your own worth. When they give you attention, you feel valuable. When they ignore you, you feel invisible. When they praise you, you feel confident. When they criticize you, you question yourself. That is when something becomes dangerous, because you've given another person control over your emotional state. The moment someone else's attention determines how you feel about yourself, you've handed them the remote control to your emotions, and you need to take that control back. Carl Jung talked about something called the persona. The persona is the version of yourself that you present to the world. It's the mask you wear, and having a persona isn't necessarily a bad thing. We all adapt. We behave differently at work, with friends, with family, and in relationships. But the problem begins when the mask becomes more important than the person underneath it. You start asking, what version of me will they like? What should I say so they don't leave? How should I act so they stay interested? You become funny when you're actually hurt. You say you're fine when you're falling apart. You agree when you actually disagree. You stay silent because you're afraid that honesty might cost you the relationship. Slowly, you stop being yourself. You become a performance. And eventually, you may realize something painful. You weren't chasing the person. You were chasing the version of yourself you believed they would accept. This is where the deeper work begins. Jungian psychology speaks about the shadow, the parts of ourselves that we don't want to see, accept, or acknowledge. Your shadow can contain insecurity, fear, jealousy, loneliness, anger, the fear of abandonment, the need to be wanted, and the fear of rejection. And sometimes another person doesn't create these wounds. They simply touch them. Someone doesn't text you back. That's all that happened. But suddenly your mind says, they don't care about me. I'm not important. I'm not good enough. Everyone eventually leaves. Notice what happened. The event was small, but your emotional reaction was much bigger. Why? Because the situation touched something deeper. The person may not have created the wound. They may have simply exposed where the wound already existed. And instead of blaming them, you can use that moment to understand yourself. That is where real growth begins. Rejection hurts. There is no reason to pretend otherwise. But sometimes what hurts isn't simply losing the person. What hurts is what the rejection seems to say about you. You don't hear, they don't want this relationship. You hear, I'm not worthy. You don't hear, they chose someone else. You hear, I'm not enough. And those are two completely different things. Someone choosing not to be with you does not determine your value. Someone losing interest does not erase your identity. Someone walking away does not mean you are unworthy of love. Their decision is about their decision. It is not a final verdict on who you are. You have to learn to separate rejection from identity, because the moment you stop turning rejection into a judgment against yourself, you become emotionally stronger. You don't have to constantly prove that you're valuable. You don't have to convince someone that you're worth loving. You don't have to keep performing just to earn a place in someone's life.
If you have to constantly prove
Stop
that you
auditioning
deserve
for a place
respect,
in someone's life.
something is already wrong. If you have to beg someone to notice you, something is already wrong. If you have to destroy your peace just to keep someone around, something is already wrong. Real connection doesn't require you to abandon yourself. Real love doesn't demand that you become someone you're not. And real respect doesn't require you to constantly earn it. Your value existed before they noticed you. Your value remains after they leave. And your value doesn't disappear because someone failed to recognize it. Emotional detachment does not mean becoming cold. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you become heartless. It means you learn how to care without losing yourself. You can love someone without making them your entire world. You can miss someone without chasing them. You can care about someone without begging for their attention. You can accept someone's decision without allowing it to destroy your identity. That's emotional strength. The goal isn't, I don't need anybody. The goal is, I can love people without abandoning myself. Care without dependence. Love without obsession. Connection without self-betrayal. That is the balance. When you stop chasing people, something interesting happens. You get your energy back. The energy you spent checking your phone, you can use it to build your future. The energy you spent wondering what someone thinks about you, you can use it to discover what you think about yourself. The energy you spent trying to be accepted, you can use it to become stronger. Work on your body. Strengthen your mind. Build your career. Read. Learn. Create. Exercise. Spend time alone. And most importantly, rebuild your relationship with yourself. Because you should be able to sit alone in a quiet room and still feel like you belong there. Ask yourself, who am I when nobody is watching? Who are you when nobody is praising you? Who are you when nobody is texting you? Who are you when nobody is choosing you? That person is the person you need to discover. This is where Jung's idea of individuation becomes powerful. Individuation is the journey toward becoming more fully yourself. Not the person society tells you to become. Not the person your partner wants you to become. Not the person your friends expect you to become. Not the person you created just to receive approval, but the person you truly are, underneath all the masks. The goal isn't to become someone everyone wants. The goal is to become someone you no longer need to betray yourself to be. You stop asking, how can I make everyone like me? And you start asking, who am I? What do I believe? What do I want? What do I stand for? What kind of life actually feels meaningful to me? That is the beginning of self-discovery. And sometimes becoming yourself means disappointing people who benefited from the old version of you. Let them be disappointed. You were not born to spend your entire life performing a role that makes everyone else comfortable. At some point, your questions begin to change. Before, you asked, why aren't they choosing me? Now you ask, is this relationship right for me? Before, how can I make them love me? Now, does this connection allow me to love myself? Before, what do they think about me? Now, what do I think about myself? Before, how do I keep them from leaving? Now, why would I abandon myself just to make someone stay? That's the transformation. You stop chasing. You stop begging. You stop performing. You stop trying to convince people of your worth. And you start living from the inside out. Maybe you were never meant to spend your life convincing people to see your value. Maybe your real journey begins when you stop asking to be chosen. Stop chasing. Stop proving. Stop performing. Come back to yourself. Because the most powerful version of you isn't the person who finally gets everyone's attention. It's the person who no longer needs attention to know that they matter. You don't need to become more attractive to deserve respect. You don't need to become more successful to deserve love. You don't need someone's approval to justify your existence. You are allowed to walk away from what repeatedly destroys your peace. You are allowed to stop explaining yourself. You are allowed to outgrow people. You are allowed to choose yourself. And most importantly, You are allowed to become someone you genuinely respect. So the next time you feel the urge to chase someone, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, am I reaching for them because I truly want them or because I'm afraid of being without their validation? That question can change everything, because the moment you stop abandoning yourself to keep someone else is the moment you finally become free. And when you become free, you no longer chase. You choose. You no longer beg. You decide. You no longer ask, am I enough? You finally understand you were enough before they arrived. You are enough while they are here, and you will still be enough when they are gone.